Hello and welcome to another episode of Between the Studs. I'm your host Mark. Today I'm joined by Chris and Daniel. So today we're going to be bringing out all of our toxic negativity, or all that bad energy, because we are talking about the worst minifigures ever. Our top 5 worst minifigures. And we try to keep it very positive here on Between the Studs and in Atlanta Brickco TV in general. We really do. But
we did one before with bad sets, and we had some real stinkers for that one.
We've got to really
that got fiery.
We got to bring forward the truth. You know what I'm saying?
But we're just going to have fun with it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
we're going to do it very positively.
Exactly. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Positively dunk on some of these really just awful minifigures that LEGO's made.
Positively just rag on them. Just kick them in the mud in the gutter.
Exactly.
And people just are going to love it, and they're going to want to buy these figures, and they're
Probably
going to turn from duds to studs.
Exactly.
Duds to studs. Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Okay.
Little rags to riches thing there.
Yeah, absolutely. Redemption arc, right? Yeah, good. I love it. But yeah, so we're going to be dunking on our least favorite figures, why they're our least favorite figures. So price, some of them are cheap, they just don't sell well. Some of them are ugly. Some of them don't work well. They're very weird shaped, or they don't move as much. They're not as flexible as normal minifigures. Whatever the reason, we're going to talk about it all right now. But let's actually start with Chris over there. And which of the first figures do you want to talk about first?
All right. I've got the Series 10 Skydiver.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And what makes him so bad is, the minifigure itself isn't the worst. It looks like a regular old city minifigure you'd get in one of the plane sets.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, the mountain sets.
Looks just like him. Why redo him? Is there that big of a demand for that, right? And even if you are a skydiver, are you wearing a lime green outfit?
Maybe some of them do. I don't know. But probably not. So
I don't want to offend anybody, but chances are there are some out there. Mm-hmm. But I think both of them, probably only bought the minifigure.
So this is more of a missed opportunity for you. You wish it
Massive
had just been something different.
Make him look more military, like.
That's what this is about. Okay,
if instead of lime green, if that were all, black, and
navy
green,
blue,
olive camo. I mean, oh man, camo would have been awesome. It would have been from a dud to a stud.
Where is Mr. Gold?
All right, right there. So, so Series 10. You're buying Series 10 to find Mr. Gold. You're not buying it for the... I mean, honestly, that Roman soldier is awesome.
Yeah, so is this lady here. She's pretty cool.
She's really cool. I think she's a Valkyrie. The Bumblebee girl. The Indian. The librarian with
Medusa.
the funny
This was the
book.
first time we got the old guy with the bald head.
You could feel Medusa so easy. Nobody wanted Medusa. All they wanted was Mr. Gold. We went to New York Comic Con when these were out. I think it was 2013.
Yeah.
And we're sitting in an apartment in Manhattan. And what are we doing? We're opening an entire case. Me and my family are sitting there around the coffee table, opening a case of these minifigures, and we're all just so excited about it. And it's like, oh, another Medusa, toss it. Oh, another Roman soldier, toss it. Because we were selling them at the show.
Yeah.
But we were looking for Mr. Gold.
Mm-hmm.
See, you took the wrong strategy. You should have been a poor British kid, and his grandpa gave him some money to go down to the corner store and buy one single packet. And
Yep.
That's a great strategy. So
you took the Veruca Salt approach, not the Charlie Bucket approach.
You've got
tried to force it.
George Washington. I'm not going to go on and on, but these are all winners.
Yeah. Great figures.
Even the mechanic has a tattoo on his arm.
Yeah.
That was cool. Yeah.
I think that was the first tattooed arm in Lego. Which amazing figures, even if you weren't trying to get Mr. Gold. And then there's this.
Yeah, he is the worst out of a good series for sure.
There's always stinkers in CMF series, though. That's just how it goes.
Yeah, you're right.
This is a particularly bad example.
This was one of the worst examples. And another thing is, like, if you got a pack, you average 3 or 4 of each figure. You always got a box. You always got, like, 6 of these suckers.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, let me make an army out of lime green and light blue skydivers. What color is that anyhow in the logo? Is that azure?
Yeah, azure. Yeah,
one of the
lime
two.
green and azure.
It doesn't even really match. It could have been orange and azure, which would have been blue. Yeah. Anyway,
so here's
I relate to that, Chris.
Oh, you almost hit the camera. That was good. Okay,
I think we're gonna keep doing that. Okay,
yeah, we'll see if we can hit the camera and scratch Mark's lens.
So, Daniel, do you agree with Chris's choice with the first figure?
It was a good warm up. I think we're gonna have some
context,
far worse ones.
In context,
yes.
In context, given your story and your experience, I'm sure there was a lot of disappointment with opening those ones up in particular. So that makes sense.
Alrighty, well, I agree too, Chris.
I think
that
that's
was
the
good.
only CMF here.
I
Yeah,
think so.
that's the only CMF. So good to have that represented. I'm gonna start off with this monstrosity from Trolls. I don't like Trolls. I don't like the original Troll dolls that they were based off of.
Nobody does.
Weird.
Nobody does.
It's like a weird leftover thing from the 70s or something.
You went like this. I don't know if you guys had them.
With their hair. Yeah,
you went like that, and their hair
and it would stick up, and then they got all tangled.
Does
and
it work with
gross
that? Can you do that?
I guess. I mean, her hair is already stuck up like that.
Mm-hmm.
Her name is Poppy anyway. The hair comes off of their enormously disproportionate heads. I don't know. I don't think there's that much else to say about it. The Trolls movies were bad. The characters are bad. I guess kids like them. I don't know. The head, it's just... I had seen these sets for a long time, right? And they looked bad, right? The first time I saw one of these minifigures in person, I said, oh my god, why is the head so enormous? And they got these little short legs. I don't know. That's
one of the things
about all
with,
I can say
with
about
Lego is it's
I'm
a
gonna
universal.
get it teed up here while you talk.
Lego is a universal.
Oh, you're not done yet. Okay.
Building system that you can use pieces for other things.
Yeah.
What else are you gonna use this for?
I'm sure some regulars at the Iron Builder could come up with something clever to do with that, but
maybe that's a stretch.
Hey, it's a goblet.
It would be a plant or something. They do a lot of plants and landscapes with weird pieces, but yeah. And I think this one's from Trolls World Tour too, because she's got the rocket.
Even worse.
That
it's
was
the
an even
sequel.
worse movie. Yep. All right, let's see what we can do here. Nope, she was too heavy.
We're hitting the tripod, so good job, guys.
There
All
you
right.
go.
So I'm gonna go with. I'm actually gonna start with. No, that's the worst one. Let's start with Marcel. Okay, so.
Oh wow! Whoa, right out of the gate. Here we go. Buckle up.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm actually a huge fan of Friends. I want to preface this whole conversation with I am a big fan of the Friends line, old and new. But every line has its really weird choices, and Marcel was one of them. He was he's a character in the Friends line. He's weird looking. He's got these. First of all, he's balding. He's an old guy. There's not a lot of older Friends.
There shouldn't have been any business for any old man to be in this theme centered around
teenage girls.
Preteen age, probably, girls.
Yes, and so he's got this sweater vest, and his sleeves don't even go all the way down to his
He's got
hands,
these like weird 3/4 length sleeves.
like he's got it's very unusual fashion choices, and he's a weird character, and we've really kind of jumped on the Marcel train with this in the storyline, and it's derailed completely. And
Chris is a Marcel investor now.
Yeah,
I am. Yeah,
I think you need to start investing.
The market on Marcel.
If you don't have a Marcel, you need to get one ASAP.
Marcel to the moon.
But so the one thing I wanted to point out is not only is it just a weird character, it shouldn't have been made. We've now taken it, made it worse. Friends dolls.
Yeah, how many miles is the elementary school up the road? Are we outside that radius? It's on his.
Marcel's in legal trouble in our Lego City too.
Document.
No, Marcel, Friends dolls have a lot of inherent weaknesses because Lego didn't want to use standard minifigures because they're not feminine enough. The little girls they were targeting did not like the standard minifigures. They're too thick, they're too bulky, and so they made these narrow, very slender figures. And these hands don't turn. These legs don't move separately. He can't even walk normally. He has to hop around.
So this is also a bit of a gripe with the Friends figures in general.
I don't like Friends figures in general, the way they function, because they're very hard to actually interact with their environment and have fun with. So you're limiting the fun that you can have with the Friends figures. But Marcel is by far the worst Friends character. The rest of them are not too bad. This is like really bad. So.
And it'd be one thing if they made like a sweet old grandpa.
Yeah.
Or something.
He doesn't look like a sweet old
He does not look like a sweet old
It's because
grandpa.
he's molded on these... I mean, there's like slight differences between the molds for the guys and the girls.
And
but
Marcel is not a sweet old grandpa's name either.
No.
No, it's not.
It's not Grandpa Patrick or something.
There's two Marcels in Lego, right?
They made two versions of him.
No, there's the from Adventure Time. There's the guitar guy. Isn't his name Marcel?
Marceline is the girl.
Yeah.
Well, it's pretty close.
Similar.
Anyway, there's multiple versions of Marcel. He's a recurring character. He should not have begun in the first place. So yeah, that's my first minifigure to bring to the table today. Do you guys agree?
Yeah.
It's a pretty bad figure.
That was a good starter.
100%. 100%. But we've had fun with it. We love that he exists.
Yeah, exactly.
We're getting our mileage out of it. The joke, that's for sure.
We're never going to forget Marcel here at Brico TV, so that's good. But yeah, on his way.
He's out in our city, too.
Yeah.
He's set up in a little encampment out there.
He's got a tent outside of town hall. All right.
Full of newspapers.
Let's send Marcel out of this video. All right, ready?
Liquids.
Boom. There we go.
There you go.
3 for 3 on tripod.
We need more altitude here.
There we go. Alrighty.
Maybe you can slow-mo that and try to get...
There you go. Like we did with the flight video.
Alrighty. So, Chris, what's your next figure we got here?
Alright. This is Timmy.
Timmy!
Exactly.
I'm going to clip that.
Timmy from Time Cruisers.
That's right.
Alright.
Yeah.
So the T has multiple... So Tim is part of time.
Mm-hmm.
Tim is in time.
Yeah.
I think his last name was like Time Buster or something, wasn't it?
Timmy Time Buster?
I guarantee you his middle name is E, and his last
Probably,
name is like Cruiser or something.
Yeah,
so I kind of like that. I like certain things about this character.
Mm-hmm.
I like the T.
Yeah.
And the fact that stands for Timmy and Time Cruiser, and it's just neat.
Okay, but how many people do you know that walk around with their first initial emblazoned on their shirt?
There's got to be some out there.
Other than TV characters.
Not to be political.
However,
I was watching Joe Biden during the campaign, and he was bragging about himself, which is what you do on a
presidents do that.
Campaign. I mean, you're trying to sell yourself. Mm-hmm. And he's showing a picture of himself when he was in college, and he's got one of the old, what do you call it? The mesh cat hats.
Yeah,
like a farmer's cap. Yeah, a trucker cap.
Mm-hmm.
And it says Joe on it. And I was like...
that kind of works, though, I feel.
I was like, who wears that? I thought the same thing.
That's like guys wearing overalls with, like, the patch that's got their name on it.
Yeah.
But who does that? Timmy does.
Apparently.
Right?
Exactly.
Okay, in South Park, there was a character his name was Timmy, and that's where Timmy is from.
Right. We won't talk about that too much.
Okay, that's kind of funny, and then I went to school, in elementary school, with a kid named Timmy that said that. And his name was Tommy.
Yeah.
But he said it the same way.
Yeah.
And to top everything off, what is going on with that face? I mean, that's only a face a mother could love.
He's got real big eyes and freckles.
He's a cartoon character.
He has a nose. That's of note.
You're right. Lego minifigures don't have noses, all right?
Except very, very few.
Except for
Squidward.
Timmy and Squidward.
Squidward and
Jack Stone has a physical nose. Yeah, anyway, yeah.
So there's
a very limited
They're
number,
actually, but you can see what's going on. They have noses, they're bad.
Yeah,
so
that's a trend, for sure.
His hair is like, are those eyebrows or is that hair? I don't know.
That's a unibrow, Chris.
That's his hair coming out from under
very
his
bushy.
hat.
And
we have keychains of this guy. We have sealed polybag keychains of this guy.
So freckles are freckles. I actually like freckles, but when they're dark red like that, it almost looks a little more like pimples to me.
Yeah, he could be.
And just his eyes are a little creepy. And you know what this reminds me of is the new Disney CMF figures for the 100th anniversary. Mm-hmm. Those faces are creepy. Have you seen some of them look a little
faces? Weird. The Queen of Hearts is...
Yeah, they're trying to make them look like the older cartoon characters, and as a result, they're extremely creepy.
When we were pulling these, I was actually telling Mark that there are some new ones coming out that I think should belong in this video. A lot of them are from that this upcoming Disney series.
So this face falls into that category.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, you could see kids needing faces to build their armies of knights, and then you can see a knight dressed up with Timmy's face on there under the helmet. Hey, it's me, Timmy.
They were time travelers, right? And so it was an old guy and a young guy. So it was very much Back to the Future inspired.
And the old guy was weird looking too.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know his name?
He's like a professor.
He's got crossed eyes. I think.
Remember. Yeah, he's got crossed eyes, and it's It's what it's kind of like is who is it? The cartoon characters.
Rick and Morty.
Yes.
Oh,
Rick
well,
and Morty.
that,
Very
that was
similar,
also
isn't
based
it?
on Doc and Marty from Back to the Future.
It's just there's just a lot wrong with this guy.
They hadn't made a lot of minifigs that looked like kids back then. I don't
Nobody
think.
remembers
They didn't have short
the
legs.
professor or the scientist's name, the older guy, because he didn't have it on his shirt.
Yeah, he didn't have a big T on his shirt.
There
Yeah,
you go. Everybody remembers his name is Timmy.
yeah, it's Professor something. Anyway, but yeah,
Yeah.
Timmy cursed for sure. Bad.
And there was a lot of opportunity in that theme, and it was time cruisers, and they integrated a lot of cool stuff. They had a chrome sword in there, I think. They
Lots
had,
of chrome, yeah.
They had Majesto's wand in there.
Oh,
They
yeah.
had
Lots of pieces.
the helmet because they went back in time, and they intermingled a lot of elements from other themes, and I loved that idea. I think
Yeah.
they should do it again,
Yeah.
but just with a better lead character.
Yeah, maybe Lego Dreams will pick up where Time Cruisers left off and give us a glorious future. We'll see.
Yeah.
Don't quote me on that.
We'll see you later, Timmy. You gotta get under it.
Get some arc on it.
There you
No,
go.
it's still
Hey,
kind of low.
that was you're getting higher up. That's good.
All right, I'm gonna go on to Squidward while we're talking about noses. So the very first SpongeBob sets they released, they did this Squidward with the standard minifigure head. Okay, they did a new mold for Patrick because he's got that like cone-shaped head. They did SpongeBob. He had the short legs and he had the whole like square thing that went over him. Great, fantastic. And then they shoved Squidward's face in a print onto this standard minifigure head, and he's got this weird, creepy smile with like this big nose and his big bug eyes. He shouldn't be smiling at all. He's a notoriously grumpy character. And I
Very
understand
cursed.
why they didn't give him like 4 legs like he has, but it's spooky looking. I'm a little partial to this one because I did actually have this set when I was a kid. So I actually I have more nostalgia for this one than the molded head, which they released later. They redid SpongeBob's house and they give him a molded head, so his mouth is actually like sticking out and it's frowning and he's got the big like round top of his head. But I do have a little more nostalgia for this one, but
So do you
it's
like
uncanny.
this one better than the other one, the molded?
I mean, I have this one and I don't have the other one, but I'm not buying a lot of SpongeBob minifigures these days. I don't really have any use for them.
Yeah.
But, he's creepy. He's spooky.
He also does not sell well compared to the other Squidward.
try
I think
without
he's
this
less
thing.
desirable.
You know,
He's just
If I can get it.
you got it.
Oh!
I went
nice
over. I
shot.
overshot.
Nice
Over.
shot.
Just a
shot. Okay.
You're going to break the camera on that one. That was,
Yeah.
I
that
got
was
a lens
hardcore.
protector. We're good.
Yeah.
There you go.
You know, the good thing about him, though, the redeeming qualities is the sand legs and
Sand
green
arms,
is- yeah, nice
and
color.
that you can replace any parts you need from the Indiana Jones
Soldiers.
Russians.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What?
Replacement pieces for
Oh,
the
the
Russian
sand
troops.
green ones.
Yeah.
I was thinking the tan ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
Yep, some real
The
stinkers
tan
so
ones
far.
were German.
Yes.
Yeah. The green ones were
They were the desert German troops. Yeah.
Yep.
So. Alrighty, well, moving right along. Actually, talking about Lego noses, the whole entire Chima line had very fleshed out
You're
faces,
right, yeah.
which is very
They have
unusual.
real creepy ones under those masks, too.
So, do we have to talk about Chima? Not too much, I think. It's
Lego furries.
widely regarded as one of the worst Lego themes.
Yeah.
Did not do very well financially. It ended up petering out after 3 waves, even though Lego really pushed for a big Chima line. The characters are all
Like
very
Chima
weird
and
looking.
Nexo Knights were their attempts at finding a successor to Ninjago.
Exactly. Neither one of them outlived the strength.
You know what
of
the
Ninjago.
best successor to Ninjago was?
Ninjago.
What?
more Ninjago, yeah.
Yeah.
They're still making Ninjago, and it's still great, so we're not going to complain. But Chima was definitely complaint worthy. What's funny is, I think this is a winning combination. Actually, like animal, warrior, human. It's like you could have some fun with this. But instead, the characters were kind of childlike, very juniorized. This sword is taller than he is. It's a little bit much. The real cool Lego elements are actually normal size. Like the new Lord of the Rings weapons. They're all the right size. They're not too big for the figure. They made a lot of big mistakes in just the way they presented it. The story is alright if you watch the show, but the figures were not working. The prints underneath the head. So you got the eyes underneath, which makes it very disturbing looking. I mean, there's just...
Yeah.
And this is... all Chima figures are like this. I just picked Laval because he's the worst example. He's the most common, most cheap figure.
Yeah, there are some real scary ones, especially when they started to get into these animals that were like, I don't know,
spiders
the story,
and tigers and.
Well, yeah, but I mean, there was one
skunks.
where
He's got the wrong cape on.
Oh, does he?
That's Batman's cape.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Maybe it is.
He
Yeah.
had a flat bottom.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Anyway, there were ones that have like scars and
Good
like
cape.
wounds
I'm gonna
and
take a
like metal like bolts and
No, we just
stuff
picked
on
out
them,
a
and like they've been through like horrific fights or
Yes.
accidents or something, and it's like, oh, that's kind of
This is the most.
alarming.
Yeah, this is an extremely warlike theme too, because they're always battling over the chi. They
Yeah.
have these huge tanks and
Lego
stuff.
race war.
Yeah,
One of the cool things about it were the torsos. You could use them for castle.
a little bit, not as
And-
much as you'd like. The torsos are probably the best thing. The legs you couldn't because they had claws and stuff. They didn't quite work.
And then, of course, the capes.
Yeah, capes are good.
That's pretty much it.
The heads are not very useful for much else. I mean,
You like those crystals? You got a bunch of chi crystals
So
there?
hilariously, the crystals are actually not as useful as you'd think, because the ones you want is the top part, not the middle part as much. So it's even those were not as useful. But yeah. Anyway, Chima, let's see if I can hit you at the top of the.
That's
Oh,
the
that was the
yeah.
weakest one so far.
Daniel's
He was
winning.
he was
so far.
imbalanced.
He's got that sword.
That we'll
holding
definitely
down.
have to slow mo mine because I think I went right over the camera.
Yeah, we'll flash back to it. All right. So we got.
Wouldn't it be funny on the slow mo if you see Squidward's face? Like,
We weren't filming.
Smiling.
We weren't filming in high speed though. I mean, he'd
Exactly.
only be in a couple frames.
Exactly. All right. So Chris, we're getting down to the final 3 on your list here. What do we got?
So I've got for Life on Mars, the aliens are cool.
Yeah.
I like the aliens. They use the droid arms. I like that
cover this
Lego
up here.
has functional parts that you can reuse.
Mhm.
Okay, so they used those droid arms on Life
Everything.
on Mars alien. Yeah, they use them on everything.
Yeah.
They really do. Even Gasgano from Star Wars on his legs.
Yeah,
right,
exactly.
which is another really cool character. So it's neat that they can reuse these parts.
Mm-hmm.
However, they gave you these. I guess I don't know if they're considered the good guys or not. I kind of feel bad for the aliens. Number one, they
could
don't
be the
look
bad guys.
bad.
Yeah.
They all look nice and harmless.
Mm-hmm.
That one
They
was
come in
not
these-
like a. They
they-
weren't fighting though. Their ships weren't like combat ships. That one was very like exploration based.
He's a scientist,
Yeah.
and that's my problem. Okay,
Okay,
so
yeah.
he looks like he's wearing a vest,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know. I don't think a spaceman. A space scientist should be wearing a vest like that.
Mhm.
It just like that's a chrome blue visor, which
Yeah.
is a really cool color. Give us something else in chrome blue.
Yeah.
You know, why waste it on a visor?
They got those. They got the underwater tanks from what was it, Hydronauts or something that came
Yeah,
in chrome
kinda.
blue too.
And there's just nothing cool about this.
Mm-hmm. It's really not speaking to you, right?
And then it's a guy, an adult with a beard and glasses. He's a scientist.
he looks kind of like a basement dweller.
He's not like a space fighter. Or,
I don't think they have
you know,
basements
it's
on
He's
like-
not a
Space.
hero, right? Yeah, he's just kind of like he's too realistic.
So he's too realistic.
Yeah.
It's like what's he gonna do?
The Martians were at least a little
And
bit
then they
different,
give you
right?
these-
You
They-
prefer space
They
combat.
give you
you
these,
want more
well,
soldiers.
yeah, but what
and-
else are you gonna
okay.
do with it?
Yeah.
But so they gave you these little black capsules for
Mhm.
the aliens to go in, and I think the whole concept was that they were doing experiments on them.
What are you,
know
what are
what
you
I
doing?
mean?
What are you doing there, Chris?
That's what they
What are you
came
doing?
in these capsules.
Yeah, they
These
did.
black
Doing
capsules,
experiments?
and they did experiments on them. And it's and so usually in most Lego themes they give you the guy with the glasses that's the smart one, right?
Yeah, right.
Uh-huh.
Bad Batch.
They're
Tech,
always
right?
named Doc
There's
or
Doc.
Tech, yeah.
There's always one, and that's good. You need a diverse team.
They did that in Mars
Donatello.
Mission. They did that in Power
Teenage Mutant
Miners.
Ninja
They did
Turtles.
it.
Donatello. I was Donatello, and because I was the smart one,
Mhm.
right? But then
Who
here's
told
the
you
next
that?
character. They double down and they give you another one.
They were all scientists.
They're all
They're all
scientists.
nerds.
They're all
Glasses.
now.
They got-
Okay, I'm pretty sure Life on Mars was like sponsored or subsidized. They had a partnership with NASA on it, I think, or
Somebody, yeah.
or Discovery Channel or something. Life on Mars was in conjunction with some science-related thing, which is why I think they couldn't have.
I don't think so.
a combat.
Not Life on Mars.
A combat element to
Not
it.
Life on Mars.
I don't know.
think you're thinking of Explorians.
Well, there was a promotion with Life on Mars where they had some certificate
Was there?
from somebody.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, I know there's Discovery TV Channel branded space sets, but those are separate from Life on Mars. So I don't know.
It was around the time they were
Ancient
launching some of
Aliens?
the older
History Channel, Ancient Aliens.
Wait, hang on. Get your hair all spiked up.
Aliens.
So the other guy they give you, and the only thing that makes him better is that his torso's a little cooler.
He's got some like
Well,
lungs.
a lot of these have the metallic gold
And
printing.
I actually used to make custom Cybermen from Doctor
There you
Who
go.
before they actually came out with them, and that was a good torso to use. I'd take the blue off. But, and he's a little younger character.
Maybe,
He's
yeah.
got the headset. That's
Yeah.
cool. He could be a pilot at least.
Yeah.
Um,
There was one of these Life on Mars scientist guys that had the Jedi Bob head. That's a redeeming one.
That's good. Yeah. But I think I agree with you, Chris. These guys could have been cooler, in my opinion. They're just a little bit strange, weird head choices.
Give us a diverse team, not a team of scientists that are
Yeah.
doing experiments butt diddling aliens.
Yeah.
Can we
I
say
don't
butt
know.
diddling?
I don't know if we can say that.
pushing
All right.
So anyhow, this guy goes. There's
Let's see if we
nothing.
can.
All right, so I'm going to talk about how
Oh,
bad
we gotta shoot.
yeah.
All right, I'm
Make
gonna,
him fly.
I'm
Make
gonna
him go to
loosen
Mars.
up his legs so that he doesn't take.
I
I
did the last one without the base.
Close his visor for flight.
Yeah.
You can take
Put
him
him
off
in
the
flight
base
mode.
if you want to, Chris.
The one I got good, I leaned him back so I could get under
Not
him.
quite. We're not reaching
Yeah.
the camera. Oh, well, anyway.
All right, let's talk about how bad life on Mars is. So the aliens were the worst. So they had these. They had
the
these,
aliens were awesome, and
they
that's
had-
what made
They had
the
these
humans
scientists
worse.
that were pretty standard for the 90s. I think they were okay. They had the yellow
What makes
heads.
this
They were
worse
fine.
than this?
So these aliens, though, they had these.
and they had the coolest
They
names
reused
too.
the droid. They reused the droid torsos and arms, which was fine, in some weird colors. A lot of them were teal. That's pretty cool. The turquoise color. These legs are kind of weird. They're doing this like squat thing.
It's
like
a weird
they're-
stance.
Maybe because the scientists were doing something with their rear ends. They gotta walk around like that. With their legs splayed out. Anyway, this guy in particular is the worst. He's this awful. I don't even know the name of this green color. It's like spring green. Light green or
Mint
something.
green,
I think
yeah.
it's just called light green. He's got this sickly skin color. His eyes are
He's
this
an alien.
awful bloodshot red. Okay, but you look at all the rest of them.
They all look
There's like a
healthy.
girl who's like she's got freckles, and they're all the rest of them are turquoise. They're fine. They got weird alien eyes. This guy, his eyes are like
Giant.
puffy and squinty and bloodshot, and he's this sickly green color. When I look at this, it makes me want to throw up, Chris. It makes me want to puke under the
So
table.
this is one of the few things in Lego that
He
I
looks like he's
actually
got a
would
disease.
collect. So this is one of those things where I want
think he's got
each
space
and every
needs.
character, and the characters are just so neat. They all have really cool names. They're all so unique with their colors and
What's his
everything.
name?
And
Do you know what his name is?
There's Archimedes, there's
No.
Atreides,
No.
there's all kinds of really
Now
cool
this is
ones.
Arcturus, and I know that because I looked it up 5 minutes ago.
And then you get parts that you could actually use with droids. You got a droid body there that Star Wars never made that red droid body.
If you wanted a
Same
colored,
thing with
if you wanted a
arms.
colored droid, you could have one with
and
a
this,
red torso.
this is nice and tight. This is actually a really nice one right here.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's one.
I won't flick it too hard.
There's one with there's a female with female eyebrows, and she's actually $40 or $50.
Yeah,
she's
she's
always
expensive.
been very expensive.
That's the collectible one, yeah.
That's because everybody loves these. So, Daniel, you're entitled. to your opinion.
Everybody loves these. We'll see. Let us know down in the comments.
Yeah,
We'll do a
yeah.
quick
Well,
poll.
that's actually
Life
a
on Mars,
head-to-head.
scientists versus aliens. This one in particular, which is worse. All right, I'm not gonna flick this guy hard because he might be valuable.
No.
Oh, I came up short.
That was weak. But
I think he just broke.
There you go. Those clips do break.
that's
really
actually a weakness for the figure that they did. The clips
Those
did
arms.
break
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah, get
so
rid of
yeah.
those.
But I gotta disagree with both you guys because I like all those figures a lot. But here's the thing: I can see why you picked them. They have some real weaknesses. So I agree, but I disagree. Anyway, here's one we could all agree on. Okay. We got
This is unanimous.
Jack Stone.
Here.
So
Bottom of the.
if
bottom
you
of the
haven't
bottom.
heard about Jack Stone, it is also one of the worst themes, if not the worst theme. I mean, that you could make a case for Jack
Yeah.
Stone being the worst Lego theme. It was the first 4 juniors, and it wasn't in a way that was good. Okay, it didn't use normal minifigures. These are a new type of minifigure. They're trying to sell this as like the updated minifigure. However, it's much worse than the original minifigure because you can't change the hair, you can't change the head, can't remove the arms or legs. Nothing is changeable about them because they wanted it four and up. They're trying to make it for a younger audience. You can't turn
It's
the
really
head.
like a Duplo character.
It is.
The legs pretty much move the same way. The arms, the hair's molded into the head. It's all. It's
giant
all one thing.
feet, super hard to use. He's a head taller than other minifigures, so you have to have bigger vehicles to bigger pieces. And I was so disappointed that we couldn't customize him at all. We couldn't change the hairpiece, we couldn't change the head, and it's dumbing down the Lego property.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as good.
Yeah, you experienced this firsthand as a child, right? You
This
got
was-
it, and were disappointed by it.
I was
and it
massively-
apparently has traumatized you.
Massively
for the rest of your
disappointed.
life.
I was so excited for Jack Stone as a kid because I was a young kid at the time. I think I was probably 5 or 6. I was excited about these, and so it didn't work. And so it lives on in infamy. They're also
And what is this
completely
haircut?
worthless.
I mean, this haircut is
Very
he
very
looks like
dated.
Nick Bluetooth.
Hey, it's 90s.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean-
Yeah. But first of all, reduction of function, bad theme, bad sets, bad memories, bad nostalgia, low price point. It's just there's almost no redeeming qualities other than it's cheap and you can get a lot of them and have fun with them and burn them and blow them up, whatever you want to do. It's
somebody took a bunch of them to Brick Fair the last couple years and was hiding them around in people's mocks.
Yep.
I don't know who would have access to so many Jack Stone figs.
It's hilarious.
That was not me.
Oh,
It was
okay.
not me.
All right.
Whoever did it came and told me who they were.
I think I know who it was, but I'm not gonna brag
don't
about
think
it.
I
I'm not
believe
gonna
you.
say it on.
Yeah.
But it wasn't me.
No,
That's
okay.
funny. No,
Mhm.
it's a great thing to dump on someone's mock as a
Oh,
joke,
yeah.
but that's it. So we're gonna send Jack Stone onwards. Let me see if I can get him.
Yeah,
up
send
there.
him to the great beyond.
Let me have him
You
ready
might
for
hurt
this.
your finger flicking that one.
Let's see here.
Oh,
nice
almost-
try.
that was very
Nice
close.
try.
Okay, we're down to
Alright.
final 2.
You're right
so
over the goalpost.
While we're on Jack Stone,
Yeah.
and I hate to do any duplicates, but
This is different.
I'm trying to one up you here. And then,
Probably.
all right, not only is this not Jack Stone, so that was Jack Stone.
That was Jack Stone.
This is the one of his nemesises, I guess. He looks pretty
Yeah,
evil.
it's Greenbeard the pirate. Everybody knows Greenbeard.
yeah.
Is that really?
I think
his
that's
No,
his name.
I don't know what his name. I mean, it wouldn't surprise
I think
me.
it is. I
So-
think that's
Makes
real.
sense, but
Mark said he was disappointed that he couldn't customize them. So what Lego did is they customized them for you. So this pirate has, it looks like somebody took a green Sharpie
Yeah.
and drew
chest hair,
Eyebrows,
facial
mustache.
hair,
a
tattoos.
tattoos,
Now, if you had
chest
green
hair,
facial hair, would you get green
and
tattoos?
back hair.
Oh, back hair! It's actually kind of interesting that they printed on the front the pistol that looks like the pirate's flintlock pistol. Why wouldn't
Yeah.
you just give him one?
And so
Is his hand upside down? Do the
It's
hands?
just really
these hands
weird.
rotate.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Okay.
So it's a disturbing figure at the very least, right? It's
I think these are
terrifying.
the same arms and hands they used on the Hagrid figure because they got the weird little molded fingers. That's really creepy.
Yeah. I
Also,
actually,
his hook doesn't come out, but it looks like the standard pirate hook.
I thought this actually somebody had drawn on it the first time I saw this.
Oh yeah, you absolutely would. Because why would anybody have green?
facial hair.
It's just so strange. And then now
I mean, unless you're getting your hair dyed or something. I don't think pirates were doing
the
that.
pieces from these sets, though, you had a cloth sail,
Yep.
which was really cool.
Giant skull, right?
The big cannon piece, a bigger boat piece.
Yeah.
There were, and then if you look at the city sets, you had a chrome tanker truck.
Yeah.
The pieces were like, you look at them and it's like, oh man, this set must be worth a fortune. Look at these parts. And then you look it up and it's Jack Stone and it's like, nobody wants it.
Extremely affordable,
Couple
yeah.
bucks.
Nobody wants him.
No, you
So-
can't get rid of it.
There you
Send him
go.
off to the great beyond, to Davy Jones' locker.
Oh, yeah.
You got all the heavy ones. That's your problem. You may have better luck with your last one.
Hey,
Yeah.
speaking of heavy ones, what have we got over here?
Yeah. Careful, Mark. Careful. You might offend somebody.
Okay.
I don't even know where to start with this.
You want to describe your deep hatred of minions?
Touching
really quick?
this. How do you describe it? How do you describe something that you hate with such a fiery passion? Minions are awful. Their humor is bad. They're not funny. They're overplayed. There's too much merchandise out there for it. Okay, Despicable Me, the first movie, was fine. And then they had stupid jokes, and I guess the kids liked it, and they went around quoting it, and they were telling it all to their parents and their friends, and then there were memes, and then like old people started posting the memes, And then
The Minion memes can be very cringe. That's right.
Yeah, they're like about random things, and I don't know. I hate everything about it. Look, his head comes apart.
I thought they were really popular.
Popular doesn't mean they're good, Chris.
How about all the people that dressed up in tuxedos and stuff to go see them?
Was that the Minions movie? Yeah, that was the Minions movie, wasn't it? I think they were being ironic, Chris. Now, the downside of that is they were actually supporting the Minions movie by giving it money, so they'll make more of them.
Can you put Poppy's head on that?
Not
you might
quite,
be able to. Was she 3-round or was she?
She's
I don't
4.
know.
She's 4.
She's gone now. Yeah, their humor is bad, and they should feel bad. And I think that's about all I can say about that.
Yep. Was the figure not living up to your expectations?
No, I mean, they're not good figures either. I mean, I guess they're fine for what they are, because they're... Ooh, look, that's scary. They're really easy to make look cursed. I've taken ones and put, like, weird, like, lizard eyes on them, so they look like they got a disease or something. I don't know.
So Daniel has been hating on Minions ever since he came here, and as soon as we found out that he hated Minions, it's like
I don't like talking about it.
no
I don't even like talking about
Oh,
it. I'm
man.
doing it because I hate it here, and this is my platform. This is my soapbox to get up on. I don't like talking about
I
it.
think they're funny. I like Minions.
They're not funny.
I liked Minions the first
Banana,
movie.
banana. It's funny, Chris. Do you get it? Do you get it? Banana. Funny, right? It's funny.
He's talking about a banana.
Yeah, he was holding a banana. Do you get it?
Yeah.
Can I explain it? All right, we're just gonna get rid of all that.
Oh my.
Next.
Wow. Okay. Anyway, while we're talking about things that induce rage,
Yeah, this is your number one.
this is gonna be the craziest video we've done in a while. Yeah. So Nexo Knights. There's a long and storied history between me, Nexo Knights, this channel. I think it really helped build Atlanta Brickco TV to what it is, which is very depressing to think about. But yeah, so Nexo Knights, we have Nexo Knight emojis in our membership program. We have people who have devoted their whole lives to Nexo Knights and reminding me of how much they like Nexo Knights and how much I dislike Nexo Knights. I've hated Nexo Knights since their inception. They were not a good combination of space and castle. Two ideas that would and should sound good together and work together, but they didn't do it right. They didn't land on all fours. It was dead upon arrival. And
Yeah.
the figures, some of them are some of the coolest figures you'll ever see.
The bad guys.
Yeah, they're usually the bad guys.
Except, I hate the whole like Jester faction.
Oh, he's cool. He's creepy.
No, exactly. No, I hate the creepy ones. They're all
You guys have different
uncanny
opinions on some
looking.
stuff. Yeah.
They all got these weird. He's got like eyes that are pointed different directions. And he's got this like creepy grin. I don't know. They're gross looking.
Do you like watching horror movies?
Sometimes I don't.
It's
not that kind of creepy.
That's-
Joe.
Destro, yeah.
That's the Nexo Knight TV show. That's a horror show.
Yeah.
But no. So the heroes, however, were very. They were not good. You can't use these pieces for anything else but Nexo Knights. Just because the color scheme, the prints, these armor pieces are a little too bulky. Kind of like Chima. Same problems. I also don't like figures that can't move. And, you got a barely 90 degrees of rotation in that arm now. And normally you go all the way around. So it's prohibitive of play. It's kind of like the same reason I take issue with Friends dolls as a shape, because they just don't work as well as a normal minifigure. So, for the minifigure, worst minifigure, I think it still counts, but Nexo Knights just a deep and terrible scar upon my soul, as many of you know. So, we're going to send that to oblivion. I don't need to go on any further, and it's just the worst.
Is he breakable?
Is he breakable?
Is he breakable?
I think he's unbreakable.
Oh, he's unbreakable. Oh, okay.
We're not going to go there. All right.
All right.
Let's see if I can hit the screen here. Oh, nope.
Hey, right on the tripod. There you go.
Smashed on the tripod. Okay. All right, we're down to our final
Here we go.
worst figure. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, the minifigure itself is not the worst.
It's not great, but
I like the hairpiece.
Who is this? You guys see who
The
it is?
face, the jumpsuit, and everything. I don't even want to say her name.
Oh, okay. All right. We're just going to omit that.
This is
Sorry,
ruined-
podcast
you know,
listeners.
I
You'll have
was-
to figure it out from
I
context.
was such
clues.
a big Star Wars fan. I read the extended universe. I read the books. Revan, the original Thrawn trilogy, the new Thrawn trilogy. I've just Outbreak, all the Clone Wars books. I'm so into it. I was so into them.
you were, yeah.
And then the sequels came out, the 7, 8, and 9, and they've taken our heroes and they've reduced them to dust, literally, and made a joke out of them. And then
I think the quote is reduced to atoms, Chris.
Yeah, that too.
Yep.
And then they try to raise up these new stars who are not stars.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure this lovely actress would have been awesome in Driving Miss Daisy or,
a well-directed movie.
Desperate Housewives or what?
Okay, so if you're following along with our podcast,
anything else.
If you're following along with our podcast, we've got a Star Wars sequel trilogy female character with a cool hairpiece. So see if you can figure it out from the clues. Name that Pokemon.
Which one is it?
And she's named after.
You want to give any more clues? Okay, there's the giveaway. There's the giveaway.
So, she's fine as a background character. But she was in it too much, and
she wasn't well written.
She's no Jar Jar Binks. Let me tell you that.
I would be alarmed. I would be alarmed if she was a Jar Jar Binks.
I'm shocked Jar Jar didn't make it here. I guess it's because Ed wasn't on the video.
Well, as a kid growing up watching the prequels, I liked Jar Jar. My whole family liked Jar Jar, and he was comic relief.
Yeah.
And back then, even with limited stuff to watch, we still didn't have access to watch things 100 times over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So,
you didn't get that repeat
it
factor.
didn't annoy us that much. In fact, we had a big doll like this big of Jar Jar Binks that you pushed and he talks, and we probably still have it at the house. And it still didn't annoy us.
Yep.
But at least he's got some comic relief.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't understand why she was in the movie. And
she had a very... They tried to give her a backstory, and it was not fully fledged. They glossed over it too quickly. That she had her sister who died.
I liked her sister, actually.
Because they had the two necklaces.
I liked her
pieces.
sister.
Yeah.
Heroic death, but now, so.
But
All
it
right.
was
That's
not enough of
That's
a backstory for how much of
it's
a
a
character
bad, it's a bad figure. Yeah.
You know what? I think it was just this past April Fool's. They always release fake news stories, and they get me every single time. They always get me.
Lego April Fool's is a very
not just
business.
Lego.
We're coming up on it. I got to start getting my guard up again.
I listen to the radio and I listen to podcasts, and they always get me. And I'm like, this last... I'm not going to go on about all the funny, not so funny, but serious stories, and then it turns out to be fake because it was April Fool's. But last year they released one where they're going to go back and remake episodes 7, 8, and 9 and fire
everybody,
and everybody else and bring on these people to remake it. And I'm like, yes, this is the greatest day ever.
They got you. They got you. Alrighty.
See you later.
Oh, that was close.
That was your closest one so
good.
far. We've all come close to one.
Right.
Okay, this is a character this is a minifigure that no one in their right mind could find any redeeming qualities about.
I love Gasgano.
Sorry,
He's
it's my
awesome.
turn. It's my turn. It's my turn. I'm talking. So this is Gasgano. He's from one of the pod racing sets. This shouldn't even be qualified as a minifigure.
They made his body out of a gun.
It's a
cool.
chainsaw. It's a chainsaw.
Even
thing.
cooler.
No, it's not. He's got a minifigure head and a helmet, and that's about it. So there were I don't know what it is about the aliens for pod racing sets in particular, but before this, they also had the Sebulba and... I don't think it was Gasgano. It was the other one, the tan one.
Yeah.
That were the single molded ones with the weird.
Aldarbito.
Thank you, Aldarbito. That go in the cockpits of their pod racers. And then they decided to do this, and I don't know why, because this doesn't even look anything like the character. I mean, I'm pretty sure he had like 4 arms, but he also had legs. This looks like a droid with this awful. Whoops, I'm breaking him. With this awful head print, with these creepy like black eyes and this weird like frowning thing.
Voldemort.
A little bit,
a scarier version of him. Yeah,
I could see somebody using this for like a classic style Voldemort build or something.
You just found something redeemable.
No.
We're not going there.
That's an alternate use is not a redeeming quality. Same problem as the Life on Mars aliens. He's got 4 of these droid arms, which are really fragile and can get broken easily, especially the way that I'm manhandling him right now.
He hates droid arms, doesn't he?
Yeah, they can be a
They're
problem.
not a well-designed piece, and the fact that they have not redesigned them since 1999 is a major flaw. They've added ones. I mean, they added the ones that are straight and have the.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
It is broke. They're literally broke.
They do.
Most of them are broken.
They do actually break.
Most of them are broken, and it's horrible. They need to fix it. It's not good. I mean, these ones come in old light gray.
We can't flick that one though, because he will break.
Yeah, he will break too. So I'm gonna
Here,
give him a little.
Flick that one.
I'm gonna give him a little
That
soft.
could be your
I'm gonna
last
give him a
one.
little soft butt off
you
the
go.
table
Okay.
there.
Go ahead and
That
flick
probably
one.
broke him anyway.
Send him into
All right.
space.
Here, hang on. The thing that worked for me last time was leaning him back so I could get underneath him here. Let's see if we can. Nope, that didn't work
That
out.
was a cool
I
sound,
whiffed
though.
him.
Did you hear that?
That was
I
the
don't know what that
visor
was.
bouncing around, maybe. But
I
yeah,
whiffed him.
those are some really weird Star Wars figures from the early Star Wars days. They didn't have
Yeah,
as much.
was that our only Star Wars one?
No, Rose.
Did you have? Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Oh. She who must not be named.
Yeah, exactly that one. Yeah, no. So
I'll
yeah,
edit that out.
couple Star Wars figures. Star Wars has some duds too. Even a great series like that. But speaking of one-piece minifigures, Daniel, we gotta bring this up. And this is the single piece.
Garrett would be happy we had this one in here.
I actually thought he'd be like upset with me, but he was actually like cheering for this.
No,
so
I'm sure they hate
Bionicle fans, I'm guessing, will actually agree with this. This was the single-piece minifigure Toa Hordika, which is from the
Watch your mouth.
the series, the sequel to the Toa Metru line. Anyway, they were in little minifigure scale sets for Bionicle, which is a great idea in theory, but this is not a great execution of that theory. It's terrible. You can't move him. No moving parts whatsoever. Just
Nothing.
snaps to a base plate in one pose. This one's got an awkward leg stance like your Mars mission guys. And he can't hold a weapon, but that weapon is
they're like
specifically
bow-legged.
designed to fit in his hands, and he can't hold anything else
They're
very
perfectly
realistically.
horizontal. You
Yeah.
can't even hold it upright.
He's
a
like
weapon.
this.
Yeah.
And that's all he can do is this little cha-cha move. So that's it.
Yeah,
So.
there you go.
So what's
Cha-cha, real
interesting?
smooth.
What's interesting about this is I actually like this. I always have.
Mm-hmm.
Now this started out as a game piece.
Yeah.
In a board game.
That's what it
That's
should
what
be.
it looks like.
And that's
or a
what-
McDonald's
that's why
toy.
it looks like-
McDonald's toys have more posability than this.
They do, actually. Yeah.
You know, it was probably made by Rosecraft,
Mm-hmm.
and it might not even have been made by Lego.
I don't know.
You know,
Yeah.
and it's one of those things that was licensed, and they are allowed to stamp Lego on it and all
Mm-hmm.
that. And so it was in that board game, and I never knew it was in a Lego set until we just got it in
Yeah.
last week.
Mm-hmm.
And what's so strange about this is they had two different minifigure scale minifigures for Bionicle, because they had the other ones that had movable
Yeah.
arms.
The Paraka
Yeah.
and the Toa Inika, I believe it's pronounced, they came out just after these, and they had excellent posability, moving hands, moving heads, everything.
Yeah,
So,
and I think these were left over from that board game, and they were like,
They
hey,
must have
let's throw it in this set. But what I always liked about them is it's like, oh, it's a board game piece, and then you could also, it works with Lego,
Yeah.
and you can use them as statues in front of your doorways.
Yeah.
I never actually looked at it as a minifigure. I
Yeah.
always looked at it as like a statue.
Yeah. If you think about it in that context, it's not so bad, but they actually tried to use these as a minifigure in a set. And
Yeah.
for that, that's not working for me. especially with the fact that a few years later they came out with a much better version.
Yeah.
And they had the potential and technology to do that all along. Then it's like, anyway. So.
Especially, I mean, when Lego's doing their play testing and stuff, they're focused on how kids play with it, with the stuff. You can't play with this other than make them, bounce along like that.
I love like Army
All
Men
stiff
and
and
other
rigid.
single-piece plastic toys, but that's definitely not what Lego is. And Lego minifigures are great because
Lego
you can-
even made green plastic army men, and they were minifigures. They were
Those were
They did
better
it for
than
Toy
this.
Story.
So yeah, there's many reasons to not like this. I don't hate it as much as some of the other figures that I chose, but I think it's actually one of the worst as a minifigure. I think it's one of the worst ones that I picked.
Yeah,
so.
that covers all the single molded.
Exactly, and
figures there.
similar issues with many other similar figures. But let's see if I can hit that camera.
Last
right.
try.
Oh, no, too low.
There you go.
Alrighty, well, that's all of the worst minifigures that we could find for this video, but let us know in the comments what you think is the worst minifigure. Which is the worst one that was on the table? Do you disagree with Chris or Daniel on Mars? Life on Mars?
Mission- No, what? Yeah.
So,
Life on Mars.
yeah, so let us know in the comments what you think. We'll actually have a pinned comment for what's the worst minifigure. I want to find out from our viewers. But
Yeah.
Out of those 15, what was the absolute worst?
Yeah.
And
And
of
what
course,
else
a lot
would
of
you
these were
include?
obviously opinion based.
yeah, there's some,
No, I think mine were pretty much. You could unanimously agree. I don't think anybody would beg to differ with any
So
of my
Daniel's
choices.
going to write a book. The top worst minifigures of all time ranked.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, it'll be the title will be a factual guide to the worst minifigures of all time.
You know how the DK books on Star Wars and all that has the
Mm-hmm.
minifigures, and it has really funny little descriptions where it points to
Parts of them,
part
right?
of the artwork on the body.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
says a flat pouch to hold his something or something.
yeah.
And it's really funny.
pocket,
If
yeah.
you ever read those, they're
Yeah.
hysterical. It would be funny to do the same thing but criticize and have it.
Yeah.
And it's like,
This looks stupid. Yeah.
His green chest hair is
yeah, exactly. Green Chester is unrealistic. Yeah. No, well, let us know in the comments what you think. Don't forget to like the video if you like
Oh,
this
yeah,
kind of
do that
content.
for sure.
And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. We got plenty of other bizarre, toxic, angry videos. Like no,
this one was not. This one was us more fighting amongst ourselves. We were not getting as heated as we were on the bad sets video.
yeah, I love that
Go
we
back
had.
and watch that one.
I love that we had differing opinions and a compare and contrast on many figures. So that was fun. But yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.